Hello everyone, welcome to the common errors part the second. To continue from the previous lecture, let's see here the difference between these two canvases. The first canvas with a single S at the end is a noun, and it means it's a closely woven cloth, and this cloth is generally used for things like tents, shells, shoes, seat coverings, and even in oil paintings. Let's have an example here. The seat coverings were made of canvas. This canvas here, it means the cloth used for making the cover. And let's come to the second canvas. Here it might be used as a noun or a verb. It means to look over carefully, or to solicit votes or opinions. Let's have an example here. The candidate went from door to door to canvass the voters. So this candidate the purpose was to canvass, means to solicit votes. So there's a difference between these two. Now coming to the next here, carrot. Even though the spelling is slightly different, the pronunciation is the same. Carrot. The first carat, it means is a unit of measurement equivalent to 200 milligrams. Symbol is CT. And another meaning is there for this carat, which is the let's say unit of measurement of the purity of gold, 24 being the purest form. And coming to the second one, carat. Here, this carat is a proofreading symbol, as you can see here. This symbol means you need to insert a particular word or phrase, whatever it is, and this indicates that it should be inserted here. And now let's come to these three words: cement, mortar, and concrete. Look at the three sentences here. I bought a truckload of cement. Here, this cement in the first sentence, it is the grandfather used to make concrete in building houses and other structures. And look at the second, let's say second sentence here. The government is planning to make a concrete footpath on both sides of the street. What is concrete footpath here? That means the footpath. Here concrete means it's a combination of this cement along with water, sand, and gravel, and it has become hard enough for us to use it. So the footpath, the concrete footpath, is a footpath where we can use it, means we can walk on it. And come to the third one. Concrete mixers have replaced manual labor to prepare mortars. Here mortars, of course, is the same mixer just like in concrete. The only difference here is that it is still soft and we can work on it. So let's cement is different. Let's say to explain further the difference between mortar and concrete. Let's have a picture. Let's have a look at this picture here. As you see in the picture, these portions here. The portions here, it is still wet, or let's say it is still soft, and they are working on it. So this is what we call mortar, and it has been prepared in these concrete mixers. And look at the other portions here. The rest of the portions, it is already hard, and we can work on it, we can use it. So this is concrete. And now coming to these three words here, all three different spellings, but the pronunciation is the same: site. The first one, you see here, the example here, he cited Abraham Lincoln in his speech. Here cited means he quoted, or let's say he mentioned Abraham Lincoln in his speech. Coming to the second one, let's have a look here. She just disappeared from my sight. Here, sight is related to vision. He disappeared from my view. Now come to the third one, SITE, site. Let's have a look at the construction site. So this site here, it means a piece of land, or to assign a position to here. Construction site is the location. Now let's go to the next, complement. Yes, the only difference is in spelling. One letter is E and one is I in complement. Let's see here, the first one. The first one, complement without I, it relates to completion, to aid to something in a way that enhances or improves it. Let's have a look at the example here. I chose maroon curtains to complement the light blue wall. So this is complement here. And complement with I in plea, it means flattering words or acts to admire and praise someone, or maybe even something. So let's have a look at this example here. She complimented my work in social ethics. Here complimented means she praised my work. Another common error here between these two Colombias. The first one, Colombia, it is the name of a country in South America. It's a South American country. And this Columbia is the capital city of South Carolina in the United States. Pronunciation is the same, only the spelling is slightly different. And now compare to or compare with. Let's see the difference. Compare to means we are comparing the similarities between the items, only the similarities. But if we compare with means we compare the similarities plus differences, similarities as well as differences. Let's have an example is here. She compared me to her father. See here, compared to. So I have been compared to her father, means her father and myself have been compared in terms of similarities, the similarities between me and her father. No differences. And now let's have a look at this sentence. We compared a leopard's appearance with that of a cheetah. Here it is compared with. Here the leopard and the cheetah, they have been compared in their similarities as well as differences. That is compared with. So there's a difference between compared to and compare with. Let's come to the next. Confident. The first one and the second one. The first one is the A-N-T and the second one is E-N-T. Let's have a look at the second one first. I'm confident of your success. This confident here, it means how you feel on a good fair day. I'm confident, you feel good. You feel sure that you will succeed. Come to the next one here. The priest is a confidant of the sinners. Here this confidant means a person to whom one confides or shares private matters or secrets. As we see in churches and also in temples, people confessing their sins or their crimes to the priest. So the priest is a confidant here. Continual and continuous. Let's see the difference. Continual means repeated, but with breaks in between. But in continuous, there is no interruption in between. It goes on without a break. So let's see examples here. It rained continually for a week. So for a week there has been raining, but in between there has been breaks. Means sometimes the rain stops and then begin again. I've been reading continuously for 2 hours. Means I was reading continuously without any interruption for 2 hours. There's a difference between continual and continuous. Let's have a look at the next. Cost and price. So cost is the expense incurred for making a product or service. What about price? Price is the amount that a customer has to pay for a product or service. Let's see examples here. The cost of production directly impacts the price of the product and the profit earned. Here the cost is the expense incurred for making the product, and the price is we customers have to pay to buy the product. Come to the next here. Diffuse. Both pronounced similarly. The first one is to disarm or to pacify. And you see here, the bomb squad has defused the IED. So the bomb has been diffused, means has been disarmed. Come to next here. The second, diffuse, it means not concentrated if used as a verb, an adjective, or spread out or extended or verbose. It can be used as a verb also, to spread out in all directions. The act of spreading out. Okay. Now let's see examples for this. The room was filled with a soft diffuse light. Here it is an adjective, diffuse light. Means the light is not concentrated and spread out everywhere in the room. The heat is diffused evenly. Here is used as a verb. The heat has been spread out evenly in a convection oven. Disperse and disperse. Disperse means to pay out or expend money or funds. Let's say, whereas disperse means scatter or cause to vanish. Let's see examples here. The fund for the schemes has been dispersed. Here, dispersed means paid out. The Indian migrants are dispersed all over the world. So the migrants are dispersed, are scattered all over the world. Indian migrants are scattered all over the world. So there's a difference between these two. And here now, discrete. The first one, discrete, with EET, it means careful, private, or unnoticeable, or let's say secretly. And the next one, discrete, RETE one, discrete, this one is distinct, separate, or unconnected. Let's have examples. She observed me discreetly. Discreetly means secretly or unnoticeably. The government is divided into two discrete divisions. Here, two distinct or two separate divisions, executive and judicial. So let's move on to the next. Let's see the difference between disinterested and uninterested. Disinterested means without a vested interest, whereas uninterested, it means bored or not interested. Let's have an example for the first one. A good judge should be disinterested. Means a good judge should be someone who has no vested interest in the case. And second one, she was uninterested in my affairs. You see here, uninterested. She was not interested in my affairs. And now let's see do's and don'ts. How shall we write do's and don'ts? Okay, do's and don'ts in all capitals we can write like this. Is correct, is acceptable. In all small letters like this format is also acceptable, is correct. But look at here, do's is okay. You see, it looks like okay. Do plus apostrophe s, it becomes do's. it becomes possessive here. Don't, you see double apostrophe comes here. This one is utterly wrong. Similarly, we can have pros and cons also, both in capitals or smalls, similar to do's and don'ts. Now, dual. The first dual with letter A, it means having two parts. Okay, and with E, dual might be noun or verb. It means a fight or a conflict between two persons or two entities. See the example here. The project has a dual advantage, cost and efficiency. Dual advantage means double, two advantages. One is cost, one is efficiency. He was killed in a duel in a tavern. Here, this duel with letter E means he was in a fight, in a conflict inside the tavern. Okay, now can we move on to the next one? Okay, ecology and environment. Ecology means relations of organisms to one another and to their environment, whereas environment means the physical surroundings or conditions. Let's see example here. Recent developments in Brazil have greatly affected the ecology of the Amazon rainforest. Here, ecology means the relations of the organisms in Amazon rainforest among themselves as well as to the environment. And let's have a look at the second one. Batteries are harmful to the environment, means to the surroundings, to the physical surroundings. Batteries are not harmful to each other, but only to the surroundings. Now, economic and economical. Economic is related to the economy. And economical means careful to spend money or saving money. Let's see example here. India has a huge economic advantage over Pakistan. Here, this economic is related to the economy of the country. I have to be economical for the next 3 months. See, in this sentence, economical, it means I have to be careful. It means I have to spend less for the next 3 months. There's a difference between these two words. And now, electrocute and shock. The first one, it means kill using electricity, or let's say with electric shock. And second one, same procedure, but if you survive the shock, you are not electrocuted, you are simply shocked. Let's see an example here. The cow was electrocuted, means the cow is dead with electric shock. Let's have a look at the second sentence. He got a shock while repairing the motor. He got a shock. Yes, he got a shock, but he survived. So we don't use electrocute here. Another example here. The cow was electrocuted to death. You see here in this sentence, it looks perfectly alright, but it's not. You see here, electrocuted to death. If the cow is electrocuted, it is already dead. So we don't need to mention to death again. So it becomes repetitive. So we can finish here, electrocuted, so that the sentence doesn't become redundant. Let's move on to the next. Elicit. E-L-I-C-I-T, elicit. It means to give rise to, or to draw out, or to evoke. And illicit with I, it means illegal or not approved by the custom or society. Let's have an example here. Her explanation on the topic only elicited more questions, means her explanation only gave rise to more questions. Let's have an example for the next one. He had an illicit affair with a neighbor. Here, this illicit affair means illegal affair. When we talk about illicit affair, generally we are talking about sexual relations generally. Let's move on to the next. Email. How do we write email? We have these two formats, one without a hyphen, a single word, the next one single word but with a hyphen. Actually the second one with a hyphen is correct, but the first one without a hyphen, it has been used so many times and so frequently by almost everyone that it has become accepted. So now both are correct, both are accepted to be correct. Now let's come to immigrant and migrant. Immigrant is the one who leaves his own country to reside to another country. Immigrant with I is the person who comes to one country from another to settle here. And the last one, migrant. Of course, this fellow also moves from one place to another, but he comes only for a better living or working condition, but he doesn't take up permanent residence. So the third, migrant, is quite different, but immigrant. But this immigrant and immigrant, let's have a look at these two carefully with an example here. Suppose an Indian man, he moves to America. So what is he to himself and to India? He is an immigrant to America. He has gone to America, so he is an immigrant to America. But what about to the Americans? He has come to their country from India. So to the Americans, he is an Indian immigrant. So he is immigrant to himself. He is an immigrant. To the Americans, he is an immigrant. And now, eminent and imminent. Yes. Let's see the difference between these two eminents. The first one beginning with E, this eminent means famous or popular, but generally famous. And the second one, it means something that is about to happen. Let's see example here. Eminent invitees are seated on the dais. Means famous personalities, famous invitees are seated on the dais. For the second one, a military conflict between India and Pakistan seems imminent, means seems about to happen in 2016. So there's a difference between these two. And now, empathy and sympathy. Empathy means to feel or understand emotionally, just like another person, how he or she is feeling. See example here. She had a lot of empathy for him. She knew what it feels to lose a loved one. Means she could feel what he might be feeling. That is empathy. And sympathy, it simply means to feel sorry for another person. You don't have to feel like how he or she felt. You simply feel sorry. The rich has a little sympathy for the poor. This is example here, sympathy. And now let's come to this one, ethel. I have written this in 4 different styles. The first one, it ends with a period marker. The second, no punctuation mark. The third, no punctuation mark but with italics, but italicized. Okay, and the last one, italicized as well as a period mark at a stop mark at the end. Which one is correct, or which ones are correct? Let's see. What is ethel? Ethel is a Latin abbreviation for et alia, which means and others. Let's see example here. Barry Ethel. Within brackets you see there 2006, name of the book in which the year in which it was published, commented on the relationship. Okay, let's go to the sentence. Okay, now come to this Ethel here. Barry Ethel means Barry and others. So this work has been written by Barry and others. And as you see here, which one is this one? Is exactly this one. No italics, no plus, no emphasis, and no, along with a period marker. So the rest of the three are wrong. Only the first one, Ethel, without any emphasis along with a period marker, is the correct option. Now everyone, used as a single word or two words. See the difference? Everyone is a single word. It refers to all the people in a group. Means everyone here means all. And everyone, two words here, means each individual. Everyone has been referred individually. Let's see here. Everyone in the class loves chocolate. Means all in the class. Everyone here means all. She looked at us. Every one of us with a quizzical eye. Here everyone means she looked at us one by one, to all of us. Each one of us. She looked at each one of us. Here it is treated individually. So there's a difference between these two everyones. Now similarly, let's come to every day. Every day is a single word. It means appropriate of let's say ordinary or common use. It's an adjective. And every day is two words. It is an adverb. It means daily. See here, she put on her everyday frock and went to market. Everyday frock means her ordinary frock that she used to wear at home, not a special one. Come to the second example. I take bath every day. Means I take bath daily. So that's the end of the second part. See you again in the third part. Thank you.